WWE Raw on Netflix rolled through Charlotte, North Carolina last night with a main event pitting Seth freaking Rollins against Finn Balor. The winner would earn the final spot in this year's Men's Elimination Chamber match on March 1st. Old foes dating back nearly a decade, who was able to best the other and move one step closer to competing for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Find out now with this recap of a show that also added the final participant in the Women's Elimination Chamber match, as Raquel Rodriguez squared off with Roxanne Perez in a qualifying bout. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and streaming.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined us by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom Michael Bullock. Gentlemen, let's dive right on in. We got a big show here tonight. Monday Night Raw, of course, and NXT, and let's just say NXT tonight, a very newsworthy show, to say the very least. But first, let's get into Monday Night Raw last night, live from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, the home of the NBA Charlotte Hornets. And we started it off with an in-ring segment. We had a video package recapping the issues between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And that brought out Sami Zayn to open last night's show with an in-ring promo. Sami Zayn warned Kevin Owens there is no forgiveness after his latest pile driver threatened the underdog from the Underground's immediate career, and he is going to destroy his former friend at Elimination Chamber in Toronto. However, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce interrupted and refused to make the match official because Sami Zayn is not physically cleared to compete. Back and forth ensued, with Adam Pearce insinuating the only way the match could happen is under non-sanctioned rules. Despite the GM's warnings, Zayn accepted and said there is nothing the official can do to stop him from destroying Kevin Owens. This was a strong segment with a great promo from Zayn. If there was one issue with it, it's that the match feels ready-made for WrestleMania and not the Elimination Chamber. While the Canadian venue is appropriate for two superstars who have known each other since they broke into the business in their homeland, a match on the grandest stage just 2 years after capturing the undisputed tag team titles, leading to the demise of Roman Reigns' bloodline, feels like a far more important setting. But there is a reason for that. They got a bigger opponent in mind for KO for WrestleMania, a certain Apex Predator, if you know what I mean. All the way to the main event of WrestleMania, we did it together. Zayn said of his relationship with Owens and their run as friends, partners, and opponents from bingo halls to the grandest stage of them all. Adam Pearce said it's not official, it's unsanctioned, adding Zayn and Owens to the card for the Elimination Chamber. Like I said, a very strong segment here. One of the segments of the night for absolutely sure. And there's nothing, I don't know what else there is to say, except when you think of, when you hear the word non-sanctioned, you know what immediately comes to our mind.
Oh, yeah.
SummerSlam 2002, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Need I say more?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, I don't know what else there is to say here. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. Front and center. Sami Zayn, he wants Kevin Owens. He's getting Kevin Owens. Elimination Chamber, Sky Dome, Toronto, March 1st. Non-sanctioned rules.
And the way that this was laid out was absolutely perfect. Sami was very pissed off because of what happened, a few weeks ago, that package pile driver that left him in a heap. And he knows he wants to go after KO. And KO probably is going to want to go after Sami. To do non-sanctioned, and I get it. I know a lot of people were like, man, that would be great for WrestleMania and the whole 9 yards. Anthony already alluded to it. Owens might be on the path and maybe in the crosshairs of the Apex Predator. For Sami, he could be. I think for Sami Zayn, it could be TikTok for Sami Zayn. His time might be running out, and definitely the patience of one Karrion Kross is starting to run out as well. So Karrion is trying to say that, you know, with my guidance, I can help you become that Sami Zayn that is different. Sami doesn't want the help. He doesn't need the help. At least in Sami's mind, he doesn't want it. So maybe it might cross the path where if Owens wins that fight, Karrion would be like, see, I told you. I said it, that you should not be focusing, that you're focusing your attention on all the wrong people. You should be worrying about yourself. You should be, you know, I told you. Why are you getting involved with under everything? With Roman Reigns, with Jey Uso, with Cody Rhodes. They all are benefiting from your success. They're benefiting because you have been struggling, lying in, not getting anything done, haven't won anything significant lately. It's going to eat Sami alive to the point where Sami is going to be enough is enough, and I'm going to put the foot down your throat. And you're going to start to see a different side of Sami Zayn, a more aggressive side of Sami Zayn when Sami and Karrion fight at WrestleMania. Now, I know a lot of people is going to be like, isn't that going to be a little bit of a step down for Sami Zayn? It might. However, if the storyline is done correctly, it's also good. Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn are going to have a heck of a match. Now, I'm not calling Fight of the Night or anything like that. I think this is going to be a solid mid-card match at WrestleMania. And that's exactly what it's going to need to be. Because you're going to have some great matches. Matches that may live forever in the annals of WWE's history. We're going to have that at Mania. But we're also going to need some other matches along the way that is going to, I'm not going to say pique our interest, but it's going to give us something to sink our teeth into going to Mania. That's a match that would. Owens and Orton is that kind of a match. So that's where I think this is going. But yeah, to do it non-sanctioned, where you got two Canadians going at it in Canada, that was a foregone conclusion. That's an easy mate to call. To do it non-sanctioned, though, boys, that's a different ball game, because God knows what could happen when you go a non-sanctioned in the Sky Dome in Toronto. You know what? I'll even say it. I would love if they take the fight into the hotel room. There is a hotel in the Sky Dome, in the Rogers Center. I think they should take the fight up there. If anybody's in that apartment, hello, knock, knock, knock. You might get a fight on your hands. So that's all.
Get the heck out of that room.
Yeah. So I would like to see it, man. Utilize the Sky Dome for what it's worth. You know they're gonna go up and down that whole arena. That fight cannot stay in the ring. There's no way this can stay in the ring. And if I'm WWE, I'm telling them, use the entire dome to your advantage, because there's some spots that I think you could pull that would be absolutely insane at the Rogers Center in Toronto for this match. Because if it's not sanctioned, boys, just go. Let it rip. Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
And of course, when it comes to non-sanctioned, both men have signed whole harmless contracts when it comes to the match. So that
Yes.
means that Sami Zayn can't sue Kevin Owens or the WWE, and vice versa when it comes to KO. So WWE, it's like they're saying, hey, we're wiping our hands clean with this. You guys do what you want. We're not going to be held responsible for what you two do to each other.
And oh, by the way, if you guys get hurt, you're paying your own medical bills. We're not flipping the tab on this shit.
Yeah, that's why I said that WWE is wiping their hands clean of all this.
Yep.
They're saying, hey, guys, you want to fight, go right ahead, but we don't want anything to do with it. I mean, if either of you gets hurt, one of you guys is paying the medical bills. We're not going to have any part in it. And of course, there's another thing too. Of course, what was it, Florio, that Jerry the King Lawler once said prior to the match, before the match got started at SummerSlam 2002?
Oh man,
Remember when he said, "Well, as far as back then it was Eric Bischoff. As Eric Bischoff is concerned, as far as the WWE is concerned,
this match is not happening.
This match isn't even taking place."
Oh yeah.
So it's like, as far as Adam Pearce is concerned, as far as WWE is concerned, this match isn't even happening. This match isn't even taking place.
We know what Adam Pearce always says, gentlemen. He always likes to say it is official. Well, in this case, it ain't official. It's not official.
Yeah.
So as far as Adam Pearce is concerned, this isn't even happening.
This match does not go into the official record books to WWE. Your lifetime wins or losses does not get affected with this match. Basically, because this is non-sanctioned. This has I know WWE says that they're not getting into this, and from what I know, Toronto and the athletic commission for the province of Canada, they're not getting involved in this either. This is, when they say non-sanctioned, this is literally the words non-sanctioned.
You two are on your own.
You're on your own, boys.
Yeah, you two are on your own, and anything that happens to the two of you, that's on you guys. It's not on us. It's not on the people of Toronto. And of course, the referee will only be there for one reason, and one reason only: to count the pinfall or the submission. That's it. Nothing else. And I think also, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the match cannot be stopped due to injury.
No, it cannot. The match must continue. Even if there's an injury, the fight does not end. It only ends under one. It only ends under one condition:
pinfall or
submission, or if the guy is physically unable to get back up. So
or to continue.
Or even to continue. It basically will become the discretion of the referee, but the referee won't be able to stop it. But if it's deemed necessary, he could call it. But the thing is, they would have to, only under referee's discretion.
Yes.
But the thing is, he doesn't necessarily have to stop it. But if he feels like enough is enough, then he has the right to do it. But there's no
either way. It's only pinfall or submission.
Yeah,
either way.
Much.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you thought the rivalry between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn has been personal before, this is way beyond personal, because like Sami Zayn said, this isn't about sending a message. It's about trying to end his damn career with that. I'm going to continue to say it, Fletch and Florio, and I'll say it again: an illegal maneuver that, for some reason, Kevin Owens continues to use. it's almost like he's saying, you know what? I don't. It's like Kevin Owens is saying, I don't give a damn about your stinking rules.
Yeah.
If I want to use the package pile driver, I will,
And
and
the
I'd be
funny,
more than happy to pay the damn fine.
yeah, and the thing is, it is the funny thing is the package pile driver is illegal in WWE. However, in any other wrestling organization, it's actually illegal. You're allowed to do that in AEW. You are allowed to do that in Ring of Honor. You're allowed, even though, and I think it is allowed in TNA. However, there's an unwritten rule that you don't use that move because of the mere fact that you could hurt somebody, you could drop some guy on their head, you could break somebody's neck, you could give them paralysis, and you could give them literally paralysis if you don't do that move right.
And
The thing is,
and you think Kevin Owens gives a damn?
no, and that's why he keeps doing it. He wants to send a message. That's what it is. He feels like he's been wronged so many times by so many different people that he does what he feels is right. He's basically taken, this is quote unquote martial law. That's the term that we use, ladies and gentlemen. It's martial law. He's writing his own rules. He's doing his own brand of justice. And if you don't like it, you can go screw yourself. That's
So
exactly
basically,
what
he's sending a
saying.
message to not just Adam Pearce, but also to Nick Aldis, and especially, Fletch, Triple H.
Well, you saw Hunter got pissed at him the first time he did it to Cody Rhodes, and they got into a shoving match at the Saturday Night's Main Event in
But-
Unionville,
But
Long
KO
Island.
was like, I don't give a damn about your rules, Triple H.
He's like,
So-
that's why Triple H got so pissed off. He's like, do you realize what the bleep you just did? Like, come on, man. What the F is
Like,
wrong
what
with you?
the hell are you trying to do? You're trying to
Yeah.
end someone's damn career?
And basically Owens didn't care. He basically,
He's like,
That-
hey, if I end their career, that's their
So-
problem, not
Yup.
mine.
yup, exactly. So I mean, it's gonna happen again. But here's the problem: this time around, Triple H will not be there to do anything about it. And as a matter of fact, if Kevin Owens decides to put that package pile driver on Sami Zayn this time around, it is legal. There's nothing we can do about it now.
And why, Fletch? Because it's
Non-sanctioned. But
exactly. So
I got this sick feeling, and I really do. There's a spot. Anthony knows what I'm about to go to. What if we see that same spot that we saw at the Ring of Honor, the ladder war? Two
shoot.
ladders assembled, and he does that package pile driver on Sammy.
Oh God.
Oh gosh, if he does that, I'm gonna say right now, Sami Zayn's career is effed up.
I mean, that could happen. You don't know.
But like you
Or-
said, Fletch, the only problem is, like you said, it's non-sanctioned.
But the other thing I would think is, what if Kevin Owens gets it this time? I'm not talking about package pile driver, but what if he gets Alabama slammed, just like how Cody did at the Royal Rumble on him? I mean,
But either way,
yeah,
you know, I mean, if you thought the rivalry at the beginning was personal, no, this is more personal than it's ever been. And I'm gonna say this, boys, this ain't even gonna be a match. If you're expecting a wrestling match, this isn't for you. It's gonna be a brawl. It's gonna be, as we like to say, it's gonna be bowling shoe ugly, and it's not going to be for the weak of heart. These two are literally going to destroy each other until one of them is standing and one of them is not. So, a really good, passionate promo there by Sami Zayn. He got his match. It's non-sanctioned. So there's really nothing more for me to say except Florio. If you thought this rivalry was already up there before, it just got taken to a whole new level.
You want to talk about a full circle moment? 2 years ago, they defeated Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
They started the demise of the Bloodline.
They defeated the Usos, ended the Usos' record-setting reign,
and who'd have thunk
undisputed tag champions.
2 years later, after all that, now they're gonna literally destroy each other. This ain't gonna be your Ricky the Dragon Steamboat Macho Man Randy Savage classic wrestling match. No way. It's gonna be a fight.
I could take it a step further and say Flair Steamboat for us, but
yeah, you can say that too. But either way, it's not gonna be any of those, Florio.
No,
it's gonna be ugly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be for the weak of heart.
Nope.
And if you can't fathom a match like this,
don't watch.
Don't even watch it, because I'll tell you this right now, with the rivalry, especially after what KO did, think of the things they're going to do to each other in a non-sanctioned match.
Put the women and kiddies to bed, boys. That's it.
Yeah, I think this is the one time you're going to probably want to say, kids, we're not letting you watch this match.
No. Don't try it at home, folks. Don't try it at home.
I can't even fathom what it's going to be like that night in Toronto.
On top of 2 stacked Elimination Chamber matches. Oh,
I'm going to say it right now. I think they're going to steal the damn show.
They could end up overshadowing the Chambers itself. You never know.
Exactly. Because of the rivalry they've had and because it's non-sanctioned. Because this just got taken to... If you set it on on a scale of 1 to 10, it's far beyond a 10.
Yeah, and plus on top of that, it's in Toronto. It's in the Sky Dome. It's in the Rogers Center.
60,000.
Yeah, and
this ain't no 20,000 seat arena, guys.
No,
this is 50 to 60,000 with a hotel complex. Jesse Ventura had a whole floor to himself, for goodness sakes. You know the joke.
Yes, and the thing is, you're talking about a guy from Montreal and a guy from Marieville, Quebec. You know there is that rivalry because this stems from way back when. And, we joke and nod about the Ring of Honor rivalry, but trust me, guys, I seen this rivalry. I followed Ring of Honor. Not this newer version that's run by Tony Khan. I mean, the Ring of Honor. This was, without a doubt, one of the biggest rivalries of that year. That ladder war that me and Anthony keep talking about was a fight of the year. It was that sadistic. And after that match, Kevin Kelly, who was the original voice of Ring of Honor, when Ring of Honor management said that they would never do another ladder war again, if you go out of your way, watch this fight, and you'll understand why they did not do another ladder war for another 4 years. They did not do another ladder war until 4 years later when they had to do the Young Bucks and the Hardys. Because that match, take any of the greatest ladder matches that WWE has ever produced, and there's a lot of great ones that they have done in their history, from Shawn Michaels and the Razor Ramon to Triple H and The Rock in Madison Square Garden at a SummerSlam, at the Highway to Hell. This match dwarfs those 2 matches alone. They made those matches look like freaking duds. compared to that ladder war. And now you're going to give him non-sanctioned? There's nothing more to say, Anthony Floyd. I think we've taken enough time to talk about that moment in itself. Let's just move on. Let's go to the next part of the show.
Don't worry. We got plenty more to get into. You thought that was big. We got plenty more to come. Oh goodness. All right, let's get into our first match of the night. MF will start it off. And as it was, the phenomenal AJ Styles squaring off against Dominic Mysterio. AJ Styles wins the match, 8 minutes and 50 seconds. After the match was over, enter Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Braun Breaker. He was waiting for AJ to turn around and spear him, but instead AJ sidestepped him, and Braun Breaker speared Dominic. Oh, what a spot.
Yeah, and then
he threw his shirt. And then he threw his shirt, and AJ caught it. I'm right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so AJ Styles wins the match, 8 minutes and 50 seconds. MF, could we be looking at a Braun Breaker, AJ Styles Intercontinental match down the road?
I say yes. I just don't know if they're going to do it at Chamber or if this is going all the way to WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to Mania. I do believe this could be Chamber because, let's say it, AJ deserves a shot. You got to give him an opportunity because, boy, this guy is still doing it after all these years. And it's so weird because that Oshigoroshi, that knee to the back, that was the move that hurt AJ Styles. He got that done on him. And a lot of people were afraid that move almost ended. That move could have ended AJ's career because he got hurt pretty bad with that move. And he did it on Dom. So that was fine. It was all good. Drops him with the Styles Clash. 1, 2, 3. Great win. Then Braun Breaker trying to get the leg up on AJ. And AJ sidestep. And Dom ate it. Oh. And yeah, he ate it bad. That was bad. So it was already a bad night for Dominic Mysterio up to that point, but we'll say it'll get a lot worse later on, but we'll see. But at the end of the day, solid match, I would say about 2 3/4, close to 3. It was a solid match, but the right man won, which was AJ. Good win back to get over on Dom, but more importantly, it adds the layer that now he has an opportunity to become the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion because Braun Breaker basically tried to punk him out and he got away. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. The question I have is, are they going to do it at Chamber? Could it be on a future Monday Night Raw? Or are they going to wait till WrestleMania to pull the trigger on this match? I don't think we're getting it at Mania. I don't think that match is even though I think the match would be WrestleMania worthy, I don't think we're getting this at WrestleMania. So that's my honest opinion. I think the best possible match is Chamber or future Monday Night Raw. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give this about 2.5, 2 3/4 on this match. I mean, it was a fine match. I'm not going to say it was anything all that special. I mean, because look, this was AJ Styles' first match back in a while, and obviously you don't want to push him too much. So having a match like this, I think it was, like I said, it was. I'll just say it was solid, but not overly spectacular. Yeah, I mean, look, Braun Breaker and AJ Styles, to me, is a WrestleMania worthy match that should be at Mania. But I think we're going to get this at Elimination Chamber. It's not a matter of if they're going to make it official; it's only a matter of when. So nothing more to say. It's yours.
Next week's the go-home show, so we'll have to wait and see on that. Dominic Mysterio has grown by leaps and bounds as an in-ring performer. which can be attributed to him being allowed to work with and alongside some of the best and brightest of the last 5 years. But this was all about reestablishing AJ Styles as a championship contender, and it worked. He appears to be on a collision course with Braun Breaker for the historically significant Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Whether he can add another title reign to an already sparkling Hall of Fame worthy resume is another question. And Pat McAfee said something really cool on commentary. He said, "Total nonstop action drop kick." Pat McAfee exclaimed as Styles rocked his opponent, a clever nod to the Phenomenal One's beginnings as a foundational piece of TNA Wrestling's X Division. And McAfee retold a humorous story from earlier in the day of Mysterio claiming he belongs in the Hall of Fame because he made his WWE debut 20 years ago and has been on top ever since. And will Mysterio's loss serve to prove Finn Balor right? And he is the rightful and only leader of the Judgment Day. We shall find out. 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star. So with that, we move on to our next match, which was a number one contenders match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Dakota Kai squaring off against Ivy Nile. Dakota Kai wins the match, 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Michael Bullock, a bit of a surprising outcome here. Dakota winning it 6 minutes and 45 seconds. We were all thinking, based on the interactions, we were thinking Ivy Nile was going to be the first challenger. No, Dakota Kai gets another shot.
Yeah, I mean, going into this, I was thinking Ivy Nile was going to win it because you've seen in weeks past, they've Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria had an interaction teasing that we were all thinking Ivy Nile was going to go after the belt, that she was be the first to challenge the Lyra for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, but no, they're giving it to Dakota Kai here. So as far as I'm concerned, look, it's a 2.5 star match. But to me, and I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't know what kind of reactions I'm going to get. The wrong person won this match. In my honest opinion, it should have been Ivy Nile. Because, like I just said, you teased. I mean, you've had these interactions with these two past couple of weeks. And this would have been perfect to put her to face Lyra. And you have her lose to Dakota Kai. And I got nothing against Dakota. Great win for her. I just think the wrong person went over. That's just my honest opinion. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah. The action here was perfectly acceptable, but it was clear the WWE Universe is not invested in Ivy Nile, and Dakota Kai is still finding her footing as an inspirational babyface. Considering Lyra Valkyria inexplicably lost to Bayley last week in an Elimination Chamber qualifier, it is safe to say there is plenty of work to be done in this area of the women's division, even if there is plenty to be excited about with all three competitors. It was clear in this match that the creative team has to find a way to get Ivy Nile to connect with the audience that isn't reliant on her being an uber athletic member of American Alpha. So far, it is not working. The nasty stomp from the ropes to the back of Nile's head was visually impressive, which can be attributed to her selling. And will WWE make up for the pro-Kai sentiments from the IC title tournament and give her the win in gold when she challenges Valkyria this time? I really honestly don't know, but we'll have to wait and find out whenever they decide to do this match. So solid 2.5 stars, and surprise, a bit of a surprise. I thought Nile was going to get it, but the thing is, Dakota Kai, I believe it was Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria who were in the finals of that tournament. And I'm thinking they were going based off of the old automatic rematch kind of thing. So they probably want to give Dakota Kai a rematch from that, a return match from that final. So that's just my guess about it. So solid 2.5. So MF, Dakota Kai defeating Ivy Nile 6 minutes and 45 seconds, and Dakota Kai will, down the road, she will challenge, she will get another shot at Lyra Valkyria and the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I could give this about 2.25 stars. I thought this was a solid match. Yes, the outcome was a little bit shocking, but the thing is that I believe they wanted to give Dakota an opportunity again to get another shot, another crack at the title, and why not? I mean, I think Dakota is more popular than Ivy right now. Ivy's kind of relatively new, kind of got lost in the shuffle, and the reason why Dakota hasn't really gotten the big opportunities is, unfortunately, she's been dealing with the injury bug again. So I just feel like Dakota just has this something about her that the creative likes her, and quite frankly, I don't blame them, because I'm kind of getting a little bit of a soft spot for Dakota Kai now. I think there's something about her that even I'm starting to say, like, you know what? She deserves at least a look at it. Even though I think Lyra's going to win, I think she's going to defend the title, but Dakota deserves this opportunity. She deserves one more crack at this title. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, and we move on now to another in-ring segment. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther entered the Spectrum Center through the crowd, looking to see what all of the yeet energy is about. Once inside the ring, he again verbally attacked his WrestleMania 41 challenger, Jey Uso, giving him an opportunity to rescind his challenge. The ring general then targeted the commentary team of Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, asking them if they believed Uso could actually beat him. As McAfee looked to confirm, Jey Uso entered to a big pop and a brawl ensued. Security broke it up, and the men's Royal Rumble winner stood tall to close out the segment. This followed up last week's promo admirably, with Gunther continuing to taunt Jey Uso and even giving him an out, only to again find out the number one contender's fire and drive might be more dangerous to his title reign than he thought. The key will be for the writing team or creative team or whatever you want to call it to continue finding ways to highlight the feud without it becoming stale, especially over 2 months before Jey Uso and Gunther battle it out in Las Vegas, April 19 and 20 for that World Heavyweight Championship. Mockery or not, Gunther yeeting as he made his way through the crowd was fun. Gunther versus Pat McAfee is the side feud that keeps on giving. So another very good segment with these two. And the more you keep doing this, the more we'll get invested. But then again, I think we're already invested, going into this and thinking about when we get to Vegas in 2 months, what's going to I mean, first of all, what is Jey Uso's entrance going to be like at Mania?
Oh my God. I don't think you really need to do much for Jey. I mean, I don't think you really need to do much for Jey Uso's entrance. Just let him come out through that crowd like he's been doing and just let the Heat Fest begin. Because you're going to have at least 70,000 yeeting at WrestleMania, and that's all you really need. The visual will tell the whole story. It's like when the Yeet Fest happened at the Intuit Dome, the first night of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and that place was gonzo bonkers.
What about last year in
let
France?
It be.
What about France last year?
Or France, yeah. That oh my God, that was so epic.
Yes.
Yep. You're right.
This is Mania. Right. This is Mania. I mean, the entrance is going to be one thing. What is that scene going to be like? And I'm already calling it. What is the scene going to be like when Jey Uso wins that World Heavyweight Championship?
It's going to be the biggest Yeet Fest ever.
Yeah,
you might get the biggest pop. You might get the biggest pop since Daniel Bryan winning at the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 30. I think that could be a roof
Or Cody
blowing moment.
Oh,
Or Cody
Or
Rhodes
even
last
last year when Cody won the title. Yeah,
finished the
absolutely.
story.
You could get it. I mean, that could be. I think it could even be bigger. I think it could be even bigger than that. I mean, you could talk about it. I mean, you could talk about when Kofi won at 35 when he became the WWE champion.
Oh,
Cody finishing the story and that pop that happened. I think that roof might fall if if it happens. But I've also heard rumors that Jay might fail. I'm starting to hear rumors that Jay might fail at Mania, that he might come up short. Kota might actually do this and win. I don't know. I know we're like, oh no, it can't happen. It can't happen. There's no way. I don't know, boys. I mean, I would love to see Jay get the moment. Or I even heard a crazy rumor that Jay might not even make it to Mania. That he gets jumped prior and someone else takes Jay's spot at Mania.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that for sure. But all I do know is this was another great segment, an admirable follow-up to last week. So I don't know what else there is to say. So another one of the segments of the night for sure. So MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, great job. Everything was playing great in the whole 9 yards. I'm gonna say, man, Pat, I know you're passionate. I know you're a really cool guy, but brother, one of these days you're gonna get caught with one of those Gunther chops, bro. And you know what? I can't help you with that, man. It ain't gonna be for the brand. You're gonna be branded, all right, with a Gunther chop. Do you know what's about to happen if you get hit with that? I don't think I have any idea what might be coming down the pipeline, bro. That's all I'm just saying. I mean, yeah. I mean, you did a little side story between Gunther and Pat McAfee. Yes, it stems a little bit from the Yeet Fest, and you know, him and his boys doing all the yeeting and everything else. There was one time on the Pat McAfee show where Gunther and Pat were having an interview and everything else, and the Toxic Table kind of were giving a rise out of Gunther, and let's just say a couple of the boys almost got chopped that night. Like not really Ty Schmidt, but Boston Connor almost got slapped by Gunther. So there's a little bit of some rivalries going on the Pat McAfee show with Gunther, and yeah, so we'll wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, this was good. I love the fire from Jey Uso. Yeah, this was pretty solid. So Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, like you just said, I like the promo. I mean, yeah, Pat McAfee better be very careful around, because I thought for sure that Gunther looked like he was about to do a number on Pat McAfee, and then Jey Uso, like you said, came out, and even when Jey Uso came out, Pat McAfee was standing on the desk yeeting, and Cole was like, "Do you really want to get us killed?" But Pat McAfee is showing he ain't afraid of the ring general. Yeah, I mean, who knows, Fletch? You could be right. Maybe Jay won't make it to WrestleMania, because remember what Gunther said the moment. Well, there was a backstage thing on Instagram. What did Gunther say to him? He said he was gonna make it 10 weeks of hell for him. Jay's road to WrestleMania could be very bumpy if Gunther has anything to say about it. So we'll see what happens. It's yours, Florio.
All right, we have a return match from some time ago on Monday Night Raw, as Penta squared off once again with Pete Dunne, and Penta, just like he did the first time they met, Penta winning the match 10 minutes and 40 seconds. I believe MF starts this off. So MF, your boy Penta, he does it again. He defeats Pete Dunne in 10:40. No arm break this time, but there was plenty of joint manipulation. Oh God.
Yeah, this was a solid matchup, but it also comes a little bit with a caveat because Ludwig Kaiser tried to get involved in the match. Pete Dunne was trying to tell him, "Get out of here. This has nothing to do with you," and that is when the Penta driver came into play, and Penta winning the match. It was a solid matchup. And then Ludwig Kaiser basically saying that, that Penta is stealing his spotlight, that this was meant for him, that, ever since Penta's shown up in WWE, that, I don't care about anything that you've been doing or your success in Mexico or whatever, that I'm gonna make an example out of you. It looks like we might get a Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser down the line. And quite frankly, I'm going to say sign me up for that matchup more than anything else. So I think this could be a future Monday Night Raw match. Outside shot at Chamber, because I don't think this is a WrestleMania match. I do believe Penta is set up for something else prior to Mania. And that's why I think what we could see is, remember, not too long ago, we had Penta and Braun Breaker having a little face-to-face, eye-to-eye. I think that might be the match at WrestleMania. I think AJ and Breaker will be at Chamber. I think we're getting Penta and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. And maybe, just maybe, a new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion on top of that, too. So, we'll see. But 2.5 stars is my rating, and Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to give this about maybe a 2.5 as well. I mean, like you said, I mean, it was a solid match, and yeah, it looked like Ludwig Kaiser's getting jealous of the success that Penta has had since debuting in WWE. So who knows? Maybe another Ludwig and Penta match somewhere down the line. So we'll see what happens. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
3 to 3.25 is my rating. This was another strong in-ring outing for Penta, who continues to showcase his value as a newcomer and someone already immensely over with the WWE Universe. There will be plenty of questions about his role at WrestleMania, as MF mentioned, but the fact that he has had the impact that he has so quickly is a testament to the performer and a creative team that has perfectly executed his rollout. And that's really all there is to say on that. And yeah, Ludwig Kaiser, I mean, he hopped on the apron, he distracted Penta, leading to a clear disagreement with Pete Dunne, who wanted no help from him whatsoever. So that's all there is to it. So 3 to 3.25 is my rating for this. So with that, we move on to our next matchup, which is the final women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Raquel Rodriguez with Liv Morgan in her corner, squaring off against Roxanne Perez. And the winner of the match in 7.5 minutes, 7 minutes and 30 seconds, Roxanne Perez wins the match. I told you she was going to win this match. But she had help. Plenty of help in the form of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair and Naomi, dressed as cheerleaders, a la Bring It On. We all remember that movie. So they came out dressed literally in those same outfits. I mean, mind-boggling. But anyways, Michael Bullock, we started off with you here. One of your own, NXT, Roxanne Perez. I told you guys this was going to happen. Don't you remember my saying so? I mean, especially after how Roxanne set the longevity record in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, this is literally the biggest win of her career. Could it lead to an even bigger win in Toronto?
We'll see. We'll see. What was the time again, Florio?
7 minutes and 30 seconds, 7.5 minutes.
I'll give this another 2.5. Yeah, this is definitely the biggest win for Roxanne Perez. Is now she's earned her way inside the chamber, and could it lead to a bigger win where she can somehow pull it off and be the one to challenge Mommy Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Title at WrestleMania? It's very possible, but I've been hearing rumors, and this is only rumors, guys. So, as we all like to say, take it with a grain of salt, or as you would like to say, Florio,
read into it what you will.
I've heard that they want to run it back with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley one more time. I mean, that's the rumor I heard. Whether they actually do it or not, it remains to be seen. So, but definitely this is the biggest win for Roxanne Perez. So 2.5 for me. It's yours, Florio.
I'll get to my thoughts on what Bullock just said in a moment. Roxanne Perez's meteoric rise through the ranks since her arrival in NXT continued last night when she outlasted the bigger, stronger Raquel Rodriguez, thanks in part to a well-timed appearance from the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Naomi. With the title holders providing a distraction, Perez scored the pinfall on Rodriguez and earned the final spot in the women's Elimination Chamber match, where she will join her former mentor Bayley. Match was fine, if not curiously booked, with Perez as a babyface, but the meat of the segment was the arrival of the women's tag team champions and the escalation of their rivalry with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Interestingly, Morgan now finds herself in the unenviable position of sharing the Elimination Chamber with the vengeance-minded Bianca Belair and Naomi. If Morgan is to have any hope of challenging Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania, she will have to overcome the unbeaten champions. The video package introducing Perez, in which she does not see herself as a hero or a villain, was a nice touch, since she would be the de facto babyface here. With that said, it was an interesting booking choice to have the Prodigy in that role on Raw, when she has spent the last year or so as the top female heel in NXT. And Belair and Naomi's ode to the East Compton Clovers with their outfits was on point. If you know, you know, from the movie Bring It On, of course. So that's all I can honestly say there. So now, as far as what Bullock said about Liv Morgan possibly winning the chamber, I hate to say it, but been there, done that. I mean, that feud went on way too long. It had its moments. Yes, it had some great moments over last summer. Yes, it did. But we want to see something different. So I don't think it's going to be Liv. MF even said that it could be Bianca to give us the match we should have had a couple years ago. And boy, howdy, what a match that would be if we get it. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll just have to wait and find out. So guys, we've got our 6. We got all 6 ladies all set to go. It will be, in no particular order, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and now you can add Roxanne Perez to that mix. She's getting that rocket strap push, boys. I'm telling you. I got this feeling. So what a moment that would be if they think of Roxanne, if they think so highly of her that they would actually have her win the chamber and have her be the one to go to challenge Rhea for that women's world title at WrestleMania. Holy guacamole, that would be something else. But we'll have to wait and find out. So 2.5, teetering on 2 3/4 for me. So MF, you heard the names, but how about it? Your old girl Roxy from Ring of Honor Women's Champion to dominating NXT, setting a women's longevity record in the Rumble match. Now, literally the biggest match of her career, with an opportunity to make herself immortal at WrestleMania. Wow.
She could become the youngest women's champion in the history of the company. That's the name of the game. She already made history by becoming the youngest Ring of Honor women's champion ever. Then she became the youngest NXT women's champion in the history of the company. I believe she's only 21, 22 years old. And she might be on the verge of becoming the youngest WWE women's champion ever in WWE's history. So, I mean, this could be her moment. We don't know. We can say. The thing is this. So, there's a number of ways this can play out. So, for Roxanne to win it is awesome. I think it's a great moment. It's a great victory for her. I think it would be great for her to be the champion. I think everybody loves it. Everybody would go crazy. That would be awesome for her. The thing is that when you have such a dominant champion like Rhea Ripley, this is going to be a virtual David versus Goliath, whoever gets the opportunity. So, yes, I've heard rumors that it's going to be Bianca. That was the rumor I heard from about a few months ago, that it could be Bianca Belair, that she could get the shot. The thing is, I don't think Bianca wins it. Even though I think a lot of people think, oh, great, Bianca's in the main event, getting another shot at a title at WrestleMania, blah. So, the reason why I don't think Bianca wins it this time, because I think Jade Cargill shows up and screws her over. Because I think at that point, we're going to find out that both Naomi and Bianca had a hand in Jade Cargill getting taken out. With the footage. Because remember how they immediately jumped and immediately was like that how they were like, oh, I knew it, and Bianca's like, well, everybody's gonna be owing us an apology. In the immortal words of Jade Cargill from AEW, let's cut the shit. We know you two bitches did it. Stop playing around and insulting my intelligence, is what I would say. Because I'm not buying it one bit. Anthony Florio is not buying it one bit, and sure as hell Michael Bullock ain't buying it one bit. You may want to incorporate or insinuate that maybe Liv Morgan and Raquel was responsible for it, but the fact of the matter is this: it doesn't matter when. Doesn't matter where. You put your tag team titles on the line against Raquel and Liv
next week.
That's fine.
Next week. It's happening next week.
This was the moment. All right. This is the moment. And I really hope they do this. I would love for them to do this. Jade Cargill show up and screw them over so that Raquel and Liv becomes the new women's tag team champions. That way, if it is Bianca at WrestleMania, then let it be. Because at that point, you take the belt off Naomi and Bianca, that means Liv is now out of the picture. She won't be able to fight because you know how they don't like to have people fight twice in one night or whatever. Liv Morgan will be fine because then you can bury that lead of having Liv Morgan fight for the women's championship because she is already going to have a belt in her hands. Her and Raquel are going to be the tag team champions. And that will more than please the Judgment Day because they'll be like, you know what? They got gold. They're going to be fine. They're going to be good with that. At the end of the day, this is where you want to pull the trigger. Because to say that they were the ones to do it, it felt a little bit of an interesting twist. But my eyes have been very glued the whole time. And I have not, and yes, I do wear glasses. My eyes are not 20/20. But I'm not an idiot. I'm not a Johnny come lately from the block, y'all. I've been seeing this from a mile away. And since the very beginning, I've had my doubts about Bianca Belair and Naomi. And just because there was a little bit of that footage that showed it, it doesn't give the whole story. As you know, it only shows the moment after Jade was being taken care of, put in an ambulance, whatever. And then you see them two walking away. That doesn't necessarily tell me that they did anything. And I know a lot of people is kind of pointing the finger at them too. Don't. You're pointing at the wrong direction. I'll gladly tell you who did it. Because I know who did it. I'm sure of it. So, yeah. Them two making that little spectacle event against Nick Aldis on Friday night. How they were like, oh, you're going to owe me an apology? We don't owe you shit. All you just looked like are two opportunistic bitches trying to take out the real star, who is Jade effing Cargill. Too bad, so sad. Cry about it. I don't give a damn. Mike, does it go to Bullock, or does Bullock need us to have a say, or is it back to you, Florio?
I believe it's Bullock. I believe Bullock goes.
All right, Omar. Two stars for the rating. 2.5 stars for the rating. Congratulations, Roxanne Perez. Hope you nothing but the best.
I actually started it off.
Oh, Bullock started it off. Okay.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yep.
I stand corrected then.
Yep.
Like I said, congratulations, Roxanne Perez, for going. But Florio, back to you.
And next week on Monday Night Raw, it will be Bianca Belair and Naomi defending the Women's Tag Team Championships against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez in Cincinnati next week. So, and as Jesse said at the Survivor Series in '88, there's more than this that meets the eye here, guys. So, and something stinks here. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. All right. Another in-ring segment. It was the New Day cutting a promo. Let's see here. On the heels of a brutal attack on Rey Mysterio to close out last week's show, the New Day hit the ring to address the WWE Universe. In typical heel fashion, Kofi and Xavier blamed Rey, accusing him of draining the life out of every young luchador to come through the door. Inevitably, the LWO interrupted, leading to a brawl between the two teams that left the heels scurrying to the floor and the backstage area for protection. A logical development that sets up a tag team match between New Day and LWO as the latter group seeks to protect Rey Mysterio's honor. More importantly, it gives Kofi and Xavier a shot at a momentum-building win before the showdown with the master of the 619 and most likely Dragon Lee. New Day's ability to deflect blame onto others has been one of the great trademarks of their heel act to this point. Kofi and Xavier ran away up the ramp, tucking tail and getting out of dodge before Lee could take to the air. So I mean, fine segment. I mean, nothing we really need to dissect here. I mean, cookie cutter stuff, really. So with that, we move on. Like I said, next Monday night on Raw, it will be Bianca Belair and Naomi defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And we also have Lyra Valkyria defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Dakota Kai. So that's all that's been announced for next week. Main event time, and it was the final qualifying match on the men's Elimination Chamber. Seth freaking Rollins squaring off against Finn Balor. Winner of the match, 18 minutes and 45 seconds. Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. So that's it. Seth freaking Rollins wins it in 18:45. I don't think there's any debate here, guys. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. 4 and 4.25 stars. Banger of a main event between two men who know each other so well, have excellent in-ring chemistry, and treated this like a premium live event bout. The build on previous spots from previous matches and the counter-heavy closing moments helped make this one a stellar cap on the night's action. Seth Rollins now advances to the Elimination Chamber with one last shot to cash his ticket to a title match at WrestleMania. Balor, on the other hand, is faced with a failing Judgment Day faction that is at odds with itself. And Balor, and I'll tell you what, guys, the late match counters and reversals were great and had fans buying in the idea Balor had a shot at actually winning. It is a testament to both men that they had the crowd eating out of the palms of their hands the way they did. And there has been a lot of online talk about Finn Balor and whether he is still the same guy who helped revolutionize NXT and made it the hottest brand in wrestling. If this is any indication, that chatter should be silenced. So 4 to 4.25 stars, fight of the night, no doubt about it. And now we have our 6 men for the men's chamber match for the right to challenge Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania. John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and now we can add Seth freaking Rollins to that list. Man, oh man. Try to pick me a winner out of that sixsome. Oh my goodness. So 4.25. You can make an argument for 4.5 if you wanted, but it's right around that 4 to 4.25 threshold. But either way, it's the fight of the night, no question about it. So MF, Seth freaking Rollins, he gets the last spot. He defeats Finn Balor 18:45, and we have our 6 men for the chamber.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4 stars. I thought it was a solid main event, really good matchup, no doubt about it. Here's the thing. I'm gonna shock a few people here. Guess who I'm hearing that could win it all? Logan Paul. Now I know a lot of people's like, wait, Mike, what? Logan? Tell me you're kidding. Tell me it's a joke. Think about it. Seth Rollins and CM Punk, they're in a rivalry. They're going to go after each other. They're going to cancel each other out. Then you got what? Damian Priest? Priest is in a war, and he's got Drew McIntyre. McIntyre and Priest are going at it. That might be a possible WrestleMania fight. So they're not winning it. That only leads to 2 men, either John Cena or Logan Paul. Now, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people would love to see John Cena go for the record and everything else and to get the 17. But I'm sorry. If he didn't win Royal Rumble, he's not winning Elimination Chamber. By virtue of that, Logan Paul is the only one left that would actually stand and actually would win the whole damn thing. As much as I know you guys would hate it, WWE has invested a lot. And you know the star power of Logan Paul. For all the bad and all the negativity and anything else, he also can generate a lot of buzz for WrestleMania. That is the fact that I'm calling it. And there's been some dirt sheets that's actually saying there's a legit chance that Logan Paul could win this whole damn thing. So I'm just putting it out there for the whole world to know that don't be surprised. Do not be stunned if the Maverick wins it all. If he wins the Elimination Chamber, you heard it here first, folks. I am not talking hyperbole. Yes, this is a bold prediction. My actual prediction is Cena to win. That's who I think is going to win it all. I think it will be John Cena. But there is something here. There's something out there that also makes me believe that Logan Paul could win the whole damn thing and go after Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Now, I'm not saying Cody loses the belt to Logan, because God help us all if Logan Paul wins the WWE title at WrestleMania. Then you're going to see the biggest riot breaking out in the history of the world. But this could actually happen. This is very possible. 4 stars for the match. It was a fine main event. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
And don't forget, CM Punk still has that favor from Paul Heyman. Remember that.
Yeah, we can't forget that.
Absolutely.
We just still don't know what that favor is. So, 4 1/4 fight of the night. Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much said everything when it comes to this. So now let's just get into the overall thoughts on Raw before we get into NXT.
A very newsworthy NXT. MF, you lead off.
Very good show. About 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I thought it was a really solid Monday Night Raw. Really nothing much more to say. So, Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, 7.5 for me as well for this edition of Raw. So it's yours for you.
This was the definition of a hard sell for Elimination Chamber. WWE decided the final entrance into both the men's and women's matches and officially announced the Zayn Owens match. All these accomplishments were key in building excitement and intrigue for a show that traditionally has major implications for the WrestleMania card. Elsewhere, we had a ton of focus on a Women's Intercontinental Championship that desperately needed it, and again saw Jey Uso come to blows with Gunther, and we had some New Day goodness from Kofi and Xavier as they keep their rivalry with LWO alive. There are plenty of questions as to where everything is going when WrestleMania rolls around, but this was another fun show that accomplished more good than bad. It wasn't perfect and was on the lower end of the Netflix offering so far, but it was still a quality show. So I'm with you guys. I'll give this 7.5, teetering on 8 out of 10 as well. So now we got to get into a very newsworthy edition of NXT that was back at the CWC, the Capitol Wrestling Center, the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, fresh off the heels of the Vengeance Day event that went down this past Saturday night in Washington, D.C. And I said it was newsworthy. Well, it started it off at the jump. I'll get into that in just a moment as I set it up. Following his surprising debut last week, Ricky Starks appeared to officially sign his WWE NXT contract on the show. And let's take a look at everything that happened on tonight's show. So we started it off. NXT opened up with NXT champion Oba Femi coming to the ring with an angry look on his face. He called out the 4 mystery masked men who attacked him at Vengeance Day. But who came out instead? We had someone cross the line, gentlemen. The NXT TNA partnership struck right out of the box, and they brought in one of the biggest guns that TNA has to offer right now. The current, reigning, defending X Division champion and former TNA heavyweight champion of the world, Moose. Whoa. Okay. Moose and Oba Femi in the same ring at the same time. Unfortunately, it will not be in Cincinnati next week because they got other plans. I could see this possibly happening at the theater in Madison Square Garden on March 11th. Holy hell if that happens. But nonetheless, it was brief, but still, MF. Oba Femi was looking for retribution against those 4 assailants who went after him at Vengeance Day. He didn't get them. He got Moose instead.
Yeah, and trust me, the internet melted down at that moment. I think it was the Korean Shine gasp, and it was Michael Bullock who does the what. And then once you see the silhouette and oh no. The leader of the system, the TNA X Division champion, and the former TNA heavyweight champion of the world in the building at the CWC. Oh my God, is all I can say. WWE was looking for, ever since this TNA WWE partnership, we had a couple of big names that crossed the line. By far for WWE, this is the biggest one yet. We thought Joe Hendry was big, but what was the one? There were a few people we were yelling, man, what would it be like if they jumped over from TNA to WWE? Jordan Grace was the first one that jumped, and we freaked out. Then Joe Hendry. And I know Anthony Flair and Michael Bullock, you guys freaked out. Tonight, the whole world melted because look who showed up. Holy freaking crap is all I can say. Yeah, this was a jump off. Michael Bullock, I don't know what. I don't know how. I don't even know what to say. You guys, your show, NXT, what the actual F? Moose? Really? Damn, bro. Come on now.
I mean, to get an appearance from Moose on NXT, yes, we've had some big crossovers. Like you said, Jordan Grace, Joe Hendry. But you get Moose, the X Division champ. I mean, it may not happen right away, but you get Oba Femi and Moose somewhere down the line. All I can say is sign me up. That's all I'm going to say. A great way to start it off, so it's yours, Florida.
How in the world do we follow that? Well, I'll tell you how we follow it. A triple threat #1 contenders match to determine the first challenger for the new Women's North American Champion Stephanie Vacour. Jada Parker versus Carmen Petrovic, who had Ashante the Adonis in her corner, and versus Kalani Jordan. Winner of the match, 11 minutes and 29 seconds, Carmen Petrovic. Whoa. Okay. Well, MF, we got ourselves a Tony and Mikey special here. Your girl, Stephanie Vacour, your favorite, going up against one of my favorites, if not my favorite girl of NXT, Carmen Petrovic, for the women's North American title next week in Cincy? What?
Yeah, and brother, I'm just gonna say this right now. May the best woman win. I will say this. This was a little bit of a surprise. I think a lot of people thought maybe Kalani Jordan. A lot of people thought Jada Parker. But Ashanti the Adonis actually ended up being the difference maker in this match. But the thing is, what he did was absolutely smart. He was very smart and very calculated in the moment that he got involved, because Jada Parker was ready to do that drive-by hip attack. Ashanti pulls Carmen out of the ring at the right time to save her from that move, because if Jada hits that, it's over. Jada would have won. So she got out of the way, then throws her back in at the right moment to get the 1, 2, 3 to win the match. But after the match was over, Jada and Kalani went at it, and they started brawling. So in the middle of all that, chaos, Carmen stood tall, winning the match, and now she gets her shot at the title. Well, unfortunately, the moment was short-lived because Fatal Influence hit the ring, and yeah, the picture-in-picture said the whole story. Attack, attack, attack. So, I mean, yeah. Will we see, former champion Fallon Henley? Yeah, Carmen, you won, but you also paid quite a price for winning that match, because Fatal Influence definitely laid you completely out. But don't worry, the three ladies that try to run through the league, they got their comeuppance in a big way a short time later, because then you had Stephanie Vacour, Julia, and then Jordan Grace showed up, and they basically cleared the ring. And Anthony, you know how that turned out. You got, everything broke down, but boy, did it explode during the commercial and then some.
It set up a huge 6-woman tag team match in the main event. Stephanie Vacour, Julia, and Jordan Grace versus Fatal Influence. After all of that, MF, did you give your rating for the match?
What? Sorry, 2.5.
Time of the fall was 11:29.
I'll go 3.
All right,
because I got to punish it a little bit because of Ashanti the Adonis getting involved.
Fair enough. So with that being said, Michael Bullock, how about that? Carmen Petrovic, biggest win of her career to date. Could it lead to an even bigger win next week?
It could be. I mean, we'll wait and see, but definitely, like you said, the biggest win for Carmen Petrovic could lead to something bigger. But like you said, unfortunately, her win and her celebration was cut short because Fatal Influence, they basically said, yeah, you may be the number 1 contender, but we're Fatal Influence will get the last laugh. And basically saying, you know what? You may be the number 1 contender, but the rightful number 1 contender is the one who just lost the title in Fallon Henley. Because Fallon Henley's probably pissed off, and not only losing the title, like, wait a minute. Where the hell is my automatic rematch clause? I should be the one to have the right to face off with Stephanie Vacour for the title. Not this prissy little girl that just won a #1 contendership. That's probably what she would say. But you know what? Too bad, so sad. Who cares, you 3 bitches? You 3 are nothing more than loaded with sour grapes. That's all I'll say. Big opportunity for Carmen next week. Do I see her winning it? Probably not.
No.
So, but I'll tell you, I think she's going to give one hell of an effort. So,
absolutely.
So there's really nothing more for me to say. 3 stars is the rating. So it's yours, Florio.
Carmen Petrovic, let me tell you, she's no pushover by any means. Martial arts background. I'm a proud member of the Xing Xing squad, no doubt about it. But she's going up against an absolute buzzsaw next week in Cincinnati. So I was going to give it 3.5, but I'm going to bump it down to 3.25 because of Ashanti. All 3 of these superstars have shown great growth in NXT, and this match was a good illustration of it. Everyone's offense looked good, and they worked together well because they have all trained together. So that's really all I can say on that. And it's too bad WWE has never found a good way to use Ashanti on his own. He has some talent, but has never been given much of a chance to show it. So that's really all I can say on that. So 3.25 stars is my rating for this. So let's move on to our next match. Tag team action. The Meta Girls, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson squaring off against Zarya and Sol Ruca. And it was Sol Ruca and Zarya winning the match 11 minutes and 38 seconds. So Michael Bullock, you started off as Zarya and Sol Ruca knock off the Meta Girls 11:38.
Yeah, I thought this was a solid match. I'll give this about 3.25 here. I mean, a nice win for this tandem of Zarya and Sol Ruca. So, and let's not forget, I mean, this was a little bit of payback because it was Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson who beat these two that catapulted them to being the #1 contenders for the women's tag team title. So you could say a little payback for Zarya and Sol Ruca. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah. All 4 women had a chance to work together at different points, but the matchup that everyone wanted to see was Jakara Jackson and Zarya. Anytime they made contact, the crowd paid attention. While this match had a lot of good energy and some fun moments, it also had some sloppy spots that could have looked better had they slowed down just a bit. It was decent, but it left a lot of room to grow. I'll give this about 3 to 3.25 stars. And it's going to be heartbreaking when Zarya finally turns on Sol Ruca. And that's really all I can say there. So give it 3 to 3.25. So MF, your thoughts? Zarya and Sol Ruca winning in 11:38 over the Meta Girls. So MF, your thoughts? All right. I'm guessing MF had to step away for a moment, so I guess we'll catch him up when he comes back in. So let us know when you're back in, MF, and we'll. Okay, there he is. All right. Zarya and Sol Ruca defeating Jackson and Legend in 11:38.
Yeah, no, this was a solid matchup, and the biggest story was, can Sol Ruca and Zarya, can they work together? Can they coexist? Can they work together? Can they be that team that will help us get the victory? And tonight, it worked. Everything, it looked like they were actually on the same page. So things are starting to look up and up for Zarya and Sol Ruca. I know a lot of people are like, well, now that Jordynne Grace is there, maybe we could see Zarya and Jordynne Grace maybe working together very soon. And if they become a team, good luck to anybody in WWE or in NXT, I should say. So I don't know. We'll wait and see how it plays out. But for what it's worth, I think they did a pretty good job with this. This was a solid 3 to 3.25 stars. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Well, he started it off, so now we're gonna Okay, now this is where it's going to kick into high now when it comes to newsworthy. All right, the contract signing with well, he's no longer Ricky Starks, boys. He's not his new name, his WWE name, Ricky Saints. Okay, I'm a little
It
Ricky
actually,
Saints.
because of the fact that he's originally from New Orleans, he took the
Oh.
name from the New Orleans Saints. And
Oh,
so it
That makes
actually does work. It actually works.
Okay.
It actually yeah. So it like I know a lot of people were wondering why, like what the hell. But then once you actually go into it and dig a little deeper, it actually makes sense. It actually is a it's a good name for him. It's a good name for him.
Okay, fair enough. All right. NXT General Manager Ava made her entrance with an NXT contract in hand. Ricky Saints made his entrance. Vic Joseph said this was the biggest signing in recent NXT history. Ava introduced the hottest free agent in professional wrestling himself. Ricky said, "That's me." And he said that he hasn't been here long, but NXT has been amazing so far. He said before he signed the contract, there were things he wanted to get off his chest. He said that people see NXT as the dream, but he sees NXT as the reality. Ricky said main eventing every NXT PLE is reality. Winning the NXT championship is reality. Ricky said the reality is that he is in NXT. He said he's going to do what he does best, show up and show out, because the revolution will begin. And then he was interrupted by a familiar face, former fellow AEW wrestler All Ego Ethan Page. He said he's impressed. Page said that Ricky shocked the world and is about to sign his NXT contract. Page said he totally expects that Ricky has a clause in his contract to get a title match as his debut match. Page said he commends Ricky for taking a page out of the Ethan Page playbook, but there is only one Ethan Page right here. And then those two went at it. They said some words, and then Javon Evans shows up, and Javon Evans went after Ethan Page. Obviously, that feud must continue. But then Ricky gets interrupted again by Wes Lee. And then Wes Lee and Ricky Saints had some words. And then next week, he will have his first match, but it will be in tag team competition. It will be Ricky Saints and Javon Evans squaring off against All Ego Ethan Page and Wes Lee. Well, great, very good contract signing segment. I mean, they took their time with holding back that WWE name. I mean, it will take a bit of getting used to when it comes to the name, but Ricky Saints feels like he should be easy to adjust. A solid segment to make Ricky feel like a big deal, and we'll see what happens with that tag team match next week. And then after that was over, we had a backstage interview. Sarah Schreiber interviewing the tag team champions, Nathan Frazier and Axiom. They were interrupted by the No Quarter Catch crew, Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. And they did not call out for Axiom. They called out the TNA World Tag Team Champions and former WWE mainstays in their own right, Matt and Jeff Hardy. And next week on NXT in Cincinnati. Yes, and it's wonderful and delightful. Yes. The Hardys, it'll be the No Quarter Catch crew, Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights, versus the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, on NXT in Cincinnati next week. Solid contract segment here. Welcome to NXT, Ricky Saints. I can't wait to see what's in store for him. But next week, we're getting him and Javon Evans against Ethan Page and Wes Lee in a tag match. And then you throw No Quarter Catch crew against the Hardys. Oh, MF, what up?
All I got to say is yeet on that.
Yeet,
I
MF.
would say this. low key, that tag team fight between Ricky Saints, Javon Evans, Wesley, and All Ego Ethan Page, that could be fight of the night, guys. We might have a fight of the night on our hands next week. And then no quarter catch crew going up against the Hardys for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. I mean, my God, man. Like, if this night could not get any more crazier, Moose, yeah, Jordan Grace, she's officially with WWE now. We got Ricky Saints, but then we get the announcement that the Hardys are coming back. The Hardys are coming home. Somewhere in Ohio, Dee Woodson must be losing her mind right now. Dee Woodson, big diehard Hardys fan. We know it. We call her the Twisted Angel for a reason. Somewhere she must be absolutely going through the roof right now when she finds out. Yeah, there's nothing more to say. It's gonna be wow. That's all you can say. Michael Bullock. The segment was amazing, but the Hardys coming back to NXT. The Hardys making their debut on NXT. They never were on NXT before. This is gonna be their first time on NXT. And my God, what a time for them to be showing up.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, I mean, like you said, we got the debut of Ricky Saints with, I mean, teaming up with Javon Evans against, I mean, yeah, teaming up in tag team action. Oh my gosh,
Against Wesley and Ethan Page.
Wesley and then you got the no quarter catch crew calling out the Hardys, and they accept for the TNA tag team titles. Oof. Damn, I mean, all I can say, and like you said, Florio, that the Hardys coming to NXT, it is going to be wonderful, delightful. Yes.
You know what? For everybody.
And for old sakes, Florio, just go ahead and freaking do it.
Green beans for everyone. Yes.
God, it's been a while since we've heard that.
Wonderful.
It is wonderful, and all I can say about that is yeet. So, nothing more to say except let's move on.
I told you guys it was a newsworthy show. All right. Well, after all that, we need a cool down, and we got a cool down here. Shawn Spears, accompanied by Izzy Dame, Brooks Jensen, and Nico Vance, squaring off against Channing Stacks Lorenzo, Luca Crucifino, and Adriana Rizzo in his corner. Shawn Spears wins the match, 5 minutes and 7 seconds. And I think MF starts this one off. So MF, Shawn Spears makes quick work of Channing Stacks Lorenzo in 5:07. And you said it last week. There's definitely a turf war on the horizon with the family and whatever we can call Shawn Spears and his group. They don't really have a name, but looks like we're definitely on the verge of a turf war here. So, all right. Give me 1 second here. All right. Relatively short and uneventful bout that ended with Spears scoring the win. Wasn't memorable, but it wasn't bad by any means. The two groups have a lot of potential combinations of opponents, so this will not be the last time we see them do battle. So, and then on top of that, not only did we have No Quarter Catch crew calling out the Hardys, but Lexis King, the Heritage Cup champion, he challenged Moose to a TNA X Division Championship match next week in Cincinnati. And we're going to get that on top of everything else. Oh, my.
Oh, Lexis King, be careful what you wish for, boy.
You better keep your words soft and sweet because you will be eating them.
Yeah. If he can eat them, if Moose is going to have anything to say about it.
The one advantage that Lexis King has is that he's going to have the home turf advantage.
Cincinnati.
It's in Cincinnati. This is his home. I don't think he's going to win it, but damn it, he's going to give it a try. And I think, and he's going to have that Cincinnati crowd by his side going into that championship fight next week. So, I mean, it's a major gamble, no doubt. But, this is going to be, yes, short and sweet and everything else. But, man, I give it to Alexis that he wanted this match. And I give him a lot of props for doing it because, like I said, home turf advantage because he's fighting in his home city.
MF, do you have a quick thought on the Shawn Spears and Stacks match, 507?
Not really. I kind of feel like it was short, too short for our liking. Outcome was never really in doubt. I think we're just waiting for the moment where Shawn Spears goes up against one-on-one for the against Tony D'Angelo whenever that happens. So we'll see.
Fair enough. So Bullock, do you have a quick thought? Shawn Spears defeating Channing Stacks Lorenzo, 507.
Yeah, I'll give it about maybe 1.5 to 2 on the effort here. So
yeah,
I'm not going to get into full details. So it's yours for you.
Yeah, that's about right. 1.5 to 2. I agree with that. So we could probably call it worst fight of the night, honestly. And then we had Eddie Thorpe squaring off against Andre Chase. Eddie Thorpe wins the match, 4 minutes and 24 seconds. We're going to cut this one out too. Another short and uneventful match, but the quick segment with Trick Williams after it was over was interesting. And it looks like we may be seeing a new side of Trick Williams soon. And that's really all there is to say on that. So this was another 1.5 to 2. So we're not going to really, dive into that. But we are most certainly going to get into this. Just give me a moment here. All right. Next week on NXT, the tag team match. Well, so this is what we got on tap for next week. The Hardy Boys defending the TNA World Tag Team Championships against Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights of the No Quarter Catch crew. Stephanie Vacour defending the NXT Women's North American Championship against Carmen Petrovic. Moose defending the TNA X Division Championship against King. And Ricky Saints and Javon Evans squaring off against Ethan Page and Wes Lee. The official WWE NXT debut, in-ring debut of one Ricky Saints. Stacked show next week with NXT going on the road again. Very smart to put the Hardys on the show in a showcase bout. Doesn't give away too much having them face more of a developmental team in No Quarter Catch crew. Easy nostalgia pop. Matt and Jeff are also arguably the most popular act in TNA due to their WWE history. And in 2024, they have proved to be an actual needle mover in terms of filling up any building that TNA advertises them for. Easy Pavlovian side effect. And who doesn't feel the urge to do that Jeff Hardy routine when that classic theme plays? So that's going to be something else. That's going to be a great show next week. Huge main event to cap off this newsworthy show. 6-woman tag team match. NXT Women's Champion Julia, the new NXT Women's North American Champion Stephanie Vacour, and Jordan Grace squaring off against all 3 members of Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix. Winners of the match, 13 minutes and 5 seconds to the surprise of none of us. Jordan Grace, Stephanie Vacour, and Julia. They win the match in 13:05. There's no question about it. This was the fight of the night here. 3.5 stars. With 6 women in the match and about 15 minutes left in the show, they had no time to waste. They got right into the fight and kept the pace high. Jordan Grace took every opportunity to show off her power by throwing everyone around. When everyone had a standoff, the babyfaces took control, and Jordan Grace took everyone out with a tope suicida. I did not have that on my bingo card. Jordan Grace with a tope suicida. Are you kidding me? They kept the energy up throughout the break and into the next segment. Everyone was working hard to make sure this match stood out, and for the most part, it worked. The Juggernaut got the win for her team by pinning Fallon Henley. She and the two champions of the NXT women's division stood tall, but you could tell, guys, Jordynne Grace had her eyes on both the NXT Women's Championship and the NXT Women's North American Championship. And then the show ended with Robert Stone being found after an attack, and it looks like the new stable in NXT trying to send a message. Yes, Jordynne had a tope suicida, but the way she landed looked a little rough. She hit a decent muscle buster. And Julia and Stephanie Vacour have some of the best strikes in NXT. Solid 3.5 stars. Fight of the night for me. So outcome never in doubt. But I'm glad they at least made Fatal Influence look good. That's all I can say on that. They could have very easily ripped right through them, but they made them look good. So not much more to say. MF, your thoughts on the main event? Jordynne Grace, Stephanie Vacour, and Julia defeating Fatal Influence 13:05.
Yeah, no, 3.5 stars, no doubt about it. It was an amazing main event. The outcome was never in doubt, like you said, and yeah, this was done really well. So there's really nothing more to add. So yeah, Michael Bullock is yours.
Yeah, 3.5 stars. I mean, fight of the night, and yeah, I mean Jordynne Grace. I mean, she looked really good in her first match officially as a member of NXT, and yeah, she had her eye on both belts after the match. And my question to you guys is, which one is Jordynne going to go after first?
That's a great question. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, we could see one at the theater in Madison Square Garden, but I got a feeling Jordynne Grace is going to be going after one of those at Stand and Deliver. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, some people would say that, wait a minute, she just got to NXT and now you want her to go for the main belt right away? I mean, some people say it's
too soon.
It's too soon.
Well, based on her body of work, it might not be.
Yeah, maybe the Women's North American Championship, but
it'll be great. Either match is going to be great.
Yeah, and then of course, like you said, at the end with that, it looks like that new group. They're the ones who wrecked Ava's office, saying no one is safe, and
took out Robert Stone in the process.
And it's like this is almost like retribution.
Oh yeah,
they're running roughshod on NXT and basically saying even the general manager has no control over us.
Nope.
We're calling the shots and we're going to run roughshod until we get what we want. And of course, we already know who one of the guys is as part of the group.
Dion Lennox.
I wonder if he's the de facto leader.
He is.
And I think I know why he assembled this. I think it's all about what happened with I don't know if memory serves me right. I didn't have something to do with what happened with Asante Diodanis and
Carmen Petrovic.
And Carmen Petrovic.
Could be.
Where he got embarrassed and humiliated.
It could be.
Where he's probably like, okay, you want to humiliate me? Well, now I'm about to humiliate everyone at NXT.
And I'm not doing it on my own.
I'm not going to do it alone.
I'm going to run roughshod. I got some hired help coming in.
Yeah. So you want to embarrass me? I'm about to embarrass every single one of you at NXT.
Yikes.
And if that is the case, you better get out of his way.
Yeah, you better.
So nothing more to say. It's yours.
All right. Well, what's your rating for the match, Bullock?
3.5.
3.5. All right. So with that being said, MF, come on in. You lead off on the overall review on one of the most newsworthy episodes of NXT I can ever remember. what a night on NXT here tonight. You want to talk about newsworthy? Oh, I don't know what else there is to say on that. So, all right. I guess I'll take it for a spin first here. Again,
Fletch is here.
Oh, MF's in. Okay. All right, MF. Your thoughts on this? You lead off on the overall review of maybe the most newsworthy NXT I've ever seen.
Damn. This was a damn good show, boys. Can I say 8.5? Because that's how I'm feeling. I thought this was a very solid show. I think this was really good. 8.5 for me. I got nothing bad to say. Yeah, I really got nothing. I got really nothing bad. I think they did an amazing job. Let's move on to next week. And Bullock, it's yours. Off to Cincinnati we go.
Exactly. 8.5 for me. So nothing more to say. Take us home, Florio.
8.5. Tonight's NXT had quite a few notable moments, but the biggest talking point coming out of the show was Ricky Starks changing his name to Ricky Saints in NXT. Not only did he sign his contract and reveal his new WWE name, but he already found his first opponent in Wes Lee. Of course, that tag team match. It was a decent segment to properly introduce him to the NXT crowd. As far as the matches go, nothing stood out in a significant way, but the main event and the opening match provided some of the best action. NXT featured the women's division heavily this week, which has become a trend on this brand. With so many great talents, it's awesome to see them getting the chance to shine. I'm actually going to give this in excess of 7.5 to 8 out of 10. There were those couple of matches that I thought brought it down for me a little bit, but other than that, one hell of a show, a very newsworthy show to say the very least. And you thought tonight was exciting? Wait till next week in Cincinnati. So, and definitely keep an eye on TNA as well. So, especially this Thursday with it being a live show from the former stomping grounds of NXT, Full Sail.
And I saw something that, remember when Moose invaded NXT tonight?
I do.
Well, Obafemi said that he may have to make a visit.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Wait. A visit to where?
Full Sail.
To Full Sail and TNA.
This Thursday on the live
no. Well,
What does that
you know this is the old stomping grounds of NXT, so I'm not surprised, but oh no. Dorula in NXT. Oh no. Well, TNA.
Oh no.
You're about to have the face of NXT on your show. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh man.
If I was anybody in TNA, you better get the you-know-what out of his way.
Oh boy, Thursday night, Full Sail, live show. And that's a live show, by the way. So we shall see what happens. All right. So with that, that'll put the bow on this very newsworthy night of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We'll be back with you again on Thursday night. Now, MF, do you want to wait until after the USA-Canada game is over? Or
yes,
do you...
so we'll probably start this at 11.
Okay, so I thought maybe there was an outside chance you wanted to do some bonus commentary, but
well, I mean, if you feel like doing it, I'm not gonna protest to bonus commentary. So I guess we can do 10:30. Yeah, all right.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you want to wait till after the game, we certainly can.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see how we'll play it by ear. If it's a blowout, then obviously we'll wait till after the game's over. If it's close enough where we might have a dogfight on our hands, then we might come on early. So right now, tentatively 10:30, but we'll see.
And yes, so around 10:30, 11 o'clock or so on Thursday night, it will be TXN Sports World. We will recap the NBA All-Star festivities, and we will recap the Four Nations face-off. If there's any other, major news or anything that MF or Bullock or myself feel that needs to be added to this docket, we certainly will while we have a show. So we'll see. But as of right now, we're only going to recap the NBA All-Star festivities and the Four Nations face-off. And then Friday night, 11 p.m., following SmackDown, it is the Cerebral Smack Talk hosted by good old MF Michael Fletcher on his channel, Brace Fan 95. We will recap the TNA Impact, the live TNA Impact from Full Sail University. And we will also recap Friday Night SmackDown. And then 1 week from tonight, we do it all over again. Ridiculously Raw. Go home week for the Elimination Chamber. And that's it. Raw and NXT. So that's it. So until Thursday night for TXN Sports World, this is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, always and forever, our First Lady of Talking Wrestling TXN, the one and only Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune Forest style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Thursday night for TXN Sports World, you've been watching this very newsworthy edition of Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and streaming.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, and especially after what we saw here tonight, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye. It's Anthony Florio here. You know the routine, everybody, and that's it. So until Thursday night, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody. Bye.